hard breaching is one of the most pivotal parts in Siege, with whether or not you manage to breach the correct walls, often determining whether or not you win the round. So in this video, I'll show you 10 hard breaching tricks to help you win more of your rank games. When Mute places a single jammer in the middle of 2 reinforcements, it doesn't cover the entire wall, only the arched area in the centre. This means the very sides and the top of the wall is outside of the Mute jammer's radius, and therefore it can be breached. This is very useful to know when playing Thermite, because instead of placing your exothermic charge in the middle of the wall where it will be jammed, you can rappel up the wall and place your exothermic charge outside of the Mute jammer's radius. And this way, it will completely bypass the Mute jammer and it will breach the entire wall. But if there's a Mute jammer on a wall where you can't rappel on it, instead you can place an exothermic charge high on the side of the wall, and this will still be outside of the Mute jammer's radius and will still breach a standing sized hole. With the new ban system in Siege X, hard breaches like Thermite and Ace are often banned, so if you're ever in this situation and need to breach an external wall, you can place 4 Hibana pellets at the very top and very bottom of a wall, and this will remove the reinforcement, similar to Maverick tricking. You can then get a soft breacher like Ash, Buck or Sophia to breach the remaining part of the wall, and then you'll have a standing sized hole into sight. And when Ace and Thermite have been banned this season, this trick has helped me loads. Using Ace, you can breach any electrified hatch next to a soft floor. To do this, just place the Ace Selmas next to the hatch and let the arms reach out onto the hatch. If you do this twice, it will destroy the hatch, completely bypassing the Cade Claw. A similar trick can also be used for Hibana to open electrified hatches next to a soft floor, but instead of opening the hatch, you need to use 2 of her pellets to destroy the Cade Claw. This trick works best if you can identify where the Cade Claw is, and then place 2 pellets on the soft floor nearest to the Cade Claw. The explosion of these 2 Hibana pellets will then destroy the Cade Claw, allowing you to open the hatch normally with the 4 pellets. These 2 tricks can be applied to many hatches in the game, but one of the main examples would be the freezer hatch on Cafe. Now I'm going to teach you how to Maverick trick, and how you can do it way safer since the release of Siege X. First, I like to create these reference points by shooting bullets just below these middle stars of the reinforcement. Then rappel onto the wall, and since the release of Siege X, attackers no longer take damage to the electricity. This means you can now upside down rappel on a wall to draw a line with Maverick at the bottom of the wall, but you want to connect the 2 bullet holes. And then do the exact same on the top, connecting the 2 bullet holes. If done right, this will then remove the reinforcement from the wall, leaving it a soft wall. At this point, you then get a soft breacher to breach the wall to give you a way into sight. Maverick tricking is super strong because it's got pretty much no counters, and it's now way safer in Siege X. Hey guys, before we move on to the second half of the video, can you please leave a like if you found this video useful, because it really helps me out. And if you're not already, subscribe for more Siege tips and tricks content. The next trick is that you should never make a vaultable ace hole into a wall that you want to enter through later on in the round. This is because vaulting creates a loud sound cue that defenders can hear, and it also moves your crosshair as you enter. This leaves you very vulnerable and will often get you killed. Instead, you should always be trying to make a standing hole, and to do this consistently, place your ace charges next to these middle stars in the reinforcement. A standing sized hole is much better for a few reasons. Firstly, it doesn't make the audio cue when you enter. It doesn't put you into an animation that can move your crosshair, and the defenders also won't know if you're going to enter standing or crouched, so they won't be able to predict where your head is. So a standing sized hole just gives you the best chance when pushing through the breach. If you rappel up an exterior wall with Maverick and make a line at the very top, you can create these insane pixel peaks looking onto the other side. To create these pixel peaks, you need to make a hole just below this red part at the top of the reinforcement. For this example in Nighthaven, on the connector wall, you can see you can get some insane angles into connector and you can hold the electrical door. If you make this angle at the very start of the round, it's almost guaranteed that you'll catch someone rotating through connector. And here is how the angle looks from the defender's point of view. This trick will work on nearly every single wall that you have the option to rappel on. But another spot I really like to do it on Nighthaven is on the IT wall. This allows you to get angles through IT and onto the rafters area You can even see the rafter stairs. You can also hold the site door and catch anyone rotating into IT. Although they're not actually a hard breacher, sometimes it's better to choose Striker with the EMP and hard breach gadget combo. One site I really like to do this on is the basement site on Bank, because you can use Striker to open up both the basement site hatches all by yourself. So the next time you're solo queuing, or don't trust your teammates to help you get a Cade Claw, give Striker a try. Another time Striker can be good is if you're pushing solo away from the main wall and want to breach a more secondary wall, like the con single wall on Clubhouse for example. The next trick I'm going to show you is thermite tricking, and this is where you can breach electrified walls using thermite. To do this, you need to place the exothermic charge on a wall or surface nearby the wall you want to breach. The explosion from the thermite charge is big enough to destroy surrounding walls as well as the wall you've placed it on, so by using this trick you can completely bypass electricity on some walls. I'll now show you 3 more examples of where I like to use this trick. To breach a vaultable hole into the dining room wall on Oregon, come to Small Tower and place your exothermic charge here. This will then completely bypass the electricity, creating a vaultable hole into sight.
Bomb has been located.
When attacking the same site, you can also use this trick, where you place the exothermic charge next to the attic door, and then come down into meeting and detonate it to create a vaultable hole into kitchen.
Located a bomb.
This is my favourite way to attack this site, where you breach this wall and have one player push in and plant behind this box while the rest of the team covers from meeting. And you can also thermite trick on Coastline when attacking the kitchen site. Just place the exothermic charge next to this bed in Penthouse, and then come downstairs and take lobby control. Then detonate the exothermic charge and it will create a vaultable hole into sight.
Located a bomb.
Again, this is a great way to attack the kitchen site, where you have your team take lobby control and have one person push in and plant while the team covers. Hard breachers like Hibana also play a key role in destroying utility, because Hibana can easily take out castle barricades using just 2 of her Hibana pellets. And even after destroying 3 castle barricades, she still has 12 left, which is great value. Hibana can also destroy mirror windows by placing 2 of her Hibana pellets on the window. And unlike other counters to mirror, like Ashe, Kali or Ace, Hibana's pellets aren't caught by Jaeger or Wamai. And Ace also has a role in destroying utility, as you can use Ace Selmas to destroy deployable shields and mirror windows. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below which one of the 4 hard breachers you think is best.